This is the Leo Clamaco Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Leo Clamaco Podcast. Today, we have an amazing guest. He is a telecommunication expert, Albert.
Shakhnazarov.
Shakhnazarov.
You know, I heard a lot of great things about you from Jose.
Thank you, man. I've heard great things about you as well.
Yeah, we just had about 30 minutes of conversation, learning about you, your family, and where you come from and what you do. Extremely inspirational,
Thank you,
extremely
man.
Inspirational.
Right back at you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here because, we both have a lot of similarities, but I believe I can share a story about my life, my experience that can inspire your audiences to go out there and make their dreams come true.
So let's get right into it.
Perfect.
My first question for you, it's probably my favorite question to ask.
Okay.
Who was Albert in high school?
Beast from the East.
Beast from the East.
Yeah. And the reason...
That's a cool nickname. How'd you get that?
Well, because I was suspended 12 times, expelled 13, arrested, sent to juvenile hall without any lick of English. And when I came back, people said, this guy is just crazy. Don't talk to him. Don't look at him because this guy has no level of communication skills.
Wow.
And all this guy knows how to do is fight. And
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Russia, Moscow. My family originated from Armenia.
Right.
Due to the genocide that took place in 1915, a lot of my family immigrated to Azerbaijan. And in 1991, a massacre broke down. People were just being killed, thrown out of the hospital, burned.
Wow.
And because we were Armenian, my dad knew that we were at risk.
Right.
And at that point, they had to flee the country. Paid a lot of people money, hid in the trunks, hid in people's basements.
Wow.
Until actual Russia came in and said, we're going to help Armenians escape Azerbaijan. And we were placed inside a refugee camp. And that's where I was born. In Russia, I had to fight every single day. And we fought against skinheads, right?
You had to prove yourself.
Not only prove ourselves, because we were placed in such a, I would say, dynamic where all the immigrants, all the refugees lived in that specific area.
Right.
So we were not welcome. We were not liked at all.
Wow.
So therefore, if you have black hair, if you have dark features,
they saw you as different. Right.
So my older brother was...
You're an outsider.
You're an outsider. Our car was set on fire. Our home was all graffiti. Get out of here. Boom, boom, boom. So we would write to...
Borderline terrorists, right? They were terrorizing.
Well, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And they believed in the fact that the only people that should be alive be part of the Russia if you're blonde and blue eyes.
Wow.
Right? And that
Very
was not
Aryan.
us. Exactly. That was not us. We were not welcome. My dad would write every month to White House. Give us a chance. Here's what's happening. My son is buried in the snow. I got beat up. And finally, they responded. They gave us an opportunity. We came here on Independence Day, July 4th. We flew to John F. Kennedy.
Wow.
We got a bunch of vaccine shots. We didn't know what we were doing. They gave us this ID card. They put us on a bus. And they said, we sponsor you for 1 month. And for 1 month, we're going to pay your bills. We're going to pay your food. After that, you're on your own. And that same day, the next morning, my dad went and knocked on every business asking for work. I had to go to school. And when I went to school, that was to me the biggest nightmare. And coming to America, a lot of people, and I'll be honest with you, soft, right? There's a lot of horseplay. There's a lot of bullying without response.
Correct.
And to me, I was taught it doesn't matter your size, it doesn't matter where you're from. Somebody tries to bully you, stand up for it.
For sure.
And every time somebody tried to bully me, I would stand up for it. I would get in a fight. I would get suspended. And I did not understand it because in my country, in Russia, right, you fight. Teachers let you fight. And I was so constrained by all the regulations, laws, things that I couldn't do. So who I was in high school is that I was portrayed as a bad guy. I was portrayed as a beast. I was an outsider. What saved me was sports. What saved me was wrestling. What saved me was soccer.
Wow.
And when I came out of the juvenile
Sports
hall,
are a blessing.
big blessing.
Wow.
I didn't have to speak. I didn't have to connect with anybody.
Just compete.
I just needed to compete.
Yeah.
And that's what earned my respect. And when I played soccer, scored goals, was written in multiple newspapers, I got that respect, and I no longer was a bad guy.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. But if you go to my principal, and my counselor, they told me, Al, you're not going to amount to much to life. You should just submit an application to a factory. Don't worry about colleges. You're not going to do much with your life. That was the response that I got from my high school.
Wow.
That's the response I got from my counselor, because they judged me based on who I was, by
Right.
not understanding that, you can't judge a fish based on how far it can climb the tree. It wasn't my environment.
I find it so crazy how these counselors can't see your potential and can't see
Yeah.
beyond what their thinking is.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? How are you in that position where you're counseling high school kids and you can't see their potential?
Right. Right.
It's there's a problem there. There's a huge disconnect there.
Right. I strongly disagree with educational system in today's world. I think a lot of times what today's happening is that we're actually preparing our kids for failure.
Oh yeah.
We're teaching them how to be soft. We're teaching them how to give up on their dreams. We're
Right.
teaching kids how to not go after your instincts,
Right.
after your desires. We
Go
tell
be a
them,
worker.
That's
Go
it.
work 9 to 5.
That's it.
Go get a job.
We don't need workers. We need thinkers.
Yeah.
We need people that have ideas, that have dreams to go out there and make this world a better place. Anybody can work.
Have you ever had the conversation with your dad about the courage and the perseverance that it took to continuously write letters to the White House?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
To keep persevering, keep
Yeah.
pushing, not giving up, like seeing the bigger picture and knowing that it's going to work out.
Yeah, I think that's the easy part for my dad. The hardest part was leaving the family, leaving the culture, language,
Right.
everything you've been through, to start all over again at the age of 40. That was the hard part. That's what it takes courage. Because
Right.
anybody can write the letter, right? Hope for the best, right?
Right.
But for him, once the letter did come, and you have to make that decision
Like,
to
oh,
leave
shit, what do you do?
everything
Yeah.
behind, that's what I really, admire about my dad. And when I came and graduated high school, my purpose was to retire my dad. And the reason why I wanted to retire my dad is because I saw how hard he worked, 80 hours a week, literally $5 an hour, doing everything he can to put food on the table. And I said, I can't continue to see him go through that.
Right.
The moment for me was the day that he had a heart attack. And the doctor says, this guy, his arteries are blocked 98%.
Wow.
If he continues to go to work, he's not going to live much longer. So I made my mission to go out there and work my behind. 7 years it took me. 7 years, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's how hard I work to be able to get to where I need to be, to make sure that my dad never has to work another day.
Let's go into that journey. So you were a soccer star. You
Yep.
were a wrestling star. How did you go from that to who you are today?
So to me, I went to college, right? I played soccer for college. Because of my record, because of being put in juvenile hall, my immigration status was put on hold. So even though I want to go to college, play soccer, and do bigger things, I can't. So now I have to go to community college. And I'm playing soccer in community college. I'm scoring goals. I'm being noticed. But what's next, right?
Right.
And then my dad's having a heart attack. And then I'm like, okay, I can go and chase that dream, or I need to go and chase another dream
Right.
that's going to be bigger than me. And that dream was to be able to make sure that my dad never has to work. So I started to look for, what can I do? Where can I go? I can't get a normal 9-to-5 job. Why? Because I don't want to get paid $10, $12, $15 an hour. That's not
Right.
going to do it. So I started to do my research, and everybody told me, if you want to really make it, there's one thing you got to do is sales. You're either going to make a lot of money or you're going to make no money. It all depends
100%.
on your work ethic. It all depends on your attitude and how coachable you are.
All
So
trains lead back to sales.
that's it, right? And I'm a competitor. So to me, I work hard. I can compete. I can learn. I can develop myself. And I didn't know is the sales was one of the hardest things that I had to face. So much rejection, so much adaptability.
Yes.
I'm not a people person, right? So I had to learn about psychology, the human behavior.
Right.
So I would be studying, I would be learning, I would be doing everything I can to get ahead. And
What
7
kind of
years.
sales were you doing?
At that time, I was selling vitamins. So it's you look for opportunity and you get it.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Whatever it takes.
My brother went to a meeting. He goes, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but you should check it out." And it was an MLM. They were a marketing company, and they were selling vitamins. I said, at this point, I don't care what I do.
Right.
I just need an opportunity.
Right.
And they said, well, you need $500 to start. So I don't have $500. So it took me like a month and a half to grab my products that I was going to buy to get started,
Right.
to sell them first to get my package. And it was a nightmare. And then I slowly developed into technology, telecommunication sales, became number one rep for AT&T, started to manage a call center, took the call center from ground zero to becoming number one AT&T partner.
Wow.
And then I said, well, if I'm doing that for someone else, why not do it for me?
Right.
Right. And at the age of 25, I decided to go into the business for myself.
Wow.
Faced a lot of challenges. People wanted to sue me. People wanted to destroy me. People didn't want me to compete. And, had to do Uber at night, had to build my business, had to sell, had to take on multiple different jobs to be able to keep up with the lawsuits, keep up with all the haters, the trolls, to just overcome that period. And once I did that, everything went up.
What drives you? What do you think keeps you trying to battle the haters?
Yeah.
What gives you that energy, that force?
Yeah. Great question. To me, different stages of my life, different things drive me, right? Seeing my dad sacrificing everything to come to this country drove me insanely. Like insanely. When I saw my daughter being born and me becoming that father and saying to my wife, you're not going back to work because I don't want daycare and I don't want somebody else raising our children.
Right.
I have to retire her. Boom, that drove me insanely, right? Is being able to consistently challenge myself to go to the next level. Today, what drives me, I have the money, I have the toys, I build multiple companies. What drives me today, I go to work at 6 a.m. I meet with my leadership, I meet with my team. What drives me is seeing their stories, their dreams become a reality. That's the biggest thing for me. Seeing someone else not give up on their dream and making it happen. That gives me just recharge of full of energy.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
And I share that. And I think the fact that we're both immigrants,
Yeah.
I think plays a huge role into who we are today.
I agree.
I think that understanding of the capability that this country offers.
Yep. Yep.
Just massive opportunities. You just got to be hungry enough to go after it, Like, you hit on something right now. My wife was pregnant and I had the same thought. I want to retire you. And
I
it
love
was,
it.
you know what I mean? And it was so awesome to be able to say, all right, honey, stay home.
Yep.
You can take 3 years, 5 years, however long you want.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And my next step was retiring my mom, making sure that she has her rent paid, she has food on the table, that she has the little money that she needs, her insurance card paid for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's go a little deeper into your company. I'm
Okay.
so intrigued about what you do.
Perfect. We are basically tech-enabled marketing organization. We're currently a number one partner for $1 billion company.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it didn't come easy because we have seen different partnerships, different relationships that we had with different carriers. And it just didn't click. Today, we have this beautiful partnership where we know that it's not just a carrier, we call them our partners. And we have shown them what we're capable of achieving, and they have put us in the front lines, and we put them in the front lines.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so what we focus on is really providing value to business owners, anywhere from small mom and pop shop to Fortune 500 companies. We go with the intention of what problem do you have today in your telecommunication world? It could be your security, it could be your phones, it could be your cell phones, it could be just your internet, and we're like telecom doctors. We go into consultation session. We ask you all the questions that we need to ask you. We look for the ways to save you money. We look for the ways to improve your service.
I love all that.
And when you need something, you don't call that carrier. You call us because you know that we will answer. You know that we're there for you. We don't believe in one-night stands when it comes down to clients. We believe in a long-term relationship. And I have
so
clients
cool.
from 10 years ago that I'm still, doing business with. They're still making me six figures
Wow.
because I took care of them even when they weren't paying me.
What effect do you see AI having in telecommunications?
What do you mean by that?
Meaning, like, is AI going to disrupt your market in any way?
No, people that don't learn how to use AI, they're going to lose big time. But no matter where you go, people crave human connection. People crave talking to a person. Nowadays, everything is scroll, tap, accept, move on. I believe that sales will never go away. Consultation will never go away because you're going to get tired of automation but you're not going to get tired of relationships. That's why we always look for somebody in our life to share a meal with. That's why we always look for somebody to have a conversation with. Nobody likes to continuously go home to an empty house.
For sure. It's
So
depressing.
human connection is necessary. I think there's ways AI can help you operate efficiently,
Right.
but you also got to learn that aspect. But at the end of the day, human connection is more important than AI automation.
That's very well said, and I agree 100%. I think that was one of the big reasons, right? During COVID, everybody went virtual.
Yep.
And now everyone's coming back to the office.
Yes.
Because you're missing that human connection, that face-to-face interaction.
You know, even introverts want to be around extroverts.
For sure. Not all the time.
Now, yeah,
But
yeah,
sometimes.
Right. But that's why, you know, the kids that are not cool want to be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Kids that don't get invited to a birthday party want to get invited to a birthday
For
party.
sure. And they feel it when they don't.
They feel it when they don't. And to me, when people said work from home, the people that still want to work from home is because they don't have a purpose. They don't want to go out there and make a difference.
Right.
They don't want to go out there and connect with people.
Just want to get a paycheck.
That's it. That's it.
Get a paycheck, call it a day, go home and live my life.
I agree. And to
second
be
that.
stuck at home, to work from home,
It's a waste.
You're wasting so much experience,
Yeah.
so much connection, so many stories that you could be learning and developing through your life. Like, I don't know about you, but when I meet with people, I love when they share stories about their life, when they share stories that they just experienced something. People that are stuck working at home, they got no stories.
No.
They got no experience.
They don't do anything.
No.
Personally, I prefer people who have done some shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just means that you're willing to take a risk.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You're willing to go after what you believe, even if you're wrong.
Right.
But at least you're learning and you're out there in the arena.
I agree. You know, I always say to people, you know, people live so just afraid of making a mistake.
Yeah.
That's the biggest mistake they can make, being afraid to make one, right? You got to go out there. You got to make mistakes. You got to learn. You got to fall down. You got to get back up.
I agree.
That's what you tell your kids. You know, I learned from doing ABC. You shouldn't do that.
Right.
Right? And that's how your kids learn. They might want to be able to say, you know what, I got to do the same thing my dad did. I got to learn the hard way. But at least you have a story to tell them.
100%. I tell a lot of my clients that you got to make mistakes as fast as possible, as quickly as possible, as many as possible.
Yes. I
Don't be
agree.
afraid.
Just don't make the same mistake twice.
100%.
Yeah.
Learn from them.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Let's get deep a little bit, all right?
Yeah.
Share with us one of your biggest failures and one of your biggest challenges of coming out of that failure, and how'd you do it?
Wow. I have so many failures. I mean,
Give me a few.
the biggest one was, right, me being able to go into the business world thinking that it's going to be sunshine and rainbow.
I think we all made that mistake,
Right,
man.
right.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I have $250,000 in the bank account. I think I'm on top of the world. I'm young. I'm just so ambitious that I'm not seeing the blind
Right.
spots. And
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't
Yeah.
know. I go in, I put my 2 weeks notice, and I go out and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go start my own business. I'm 1099 in that company. I'm just being nice. I'm leaving, starting my own company. Not even a month later, I get served with the papers, and I get basically told that you cannot operate. Right? Cease and desist. That's the letter that I got.
Wow.
Now, my savings, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I got 250,000, not knowing the people that I'm going against got millions upon millions that they're gonna drag me to court just to drag me to court because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
wearing a pink shirt.
Just to drain your money.
Just to drain my money.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's what was told to me. I got so much money, you will dry up your bank account, and we will not get anywhere. But you will not have any more money.
Man. Did you have a contract with them?
I did not.
So how were they able to
Money.
man?
Money. So I had to go and hire an attorney, and this attorney was $800 an hour. And this attorney knows that this guy is young. I'm gonna suck him dry. You know, at that time, my daughter was like, I believe, just turned 1, and I'm like, I can throw in the towel, I can quit, I can give up, and I could be a failure in her eyes, right? And to me, that moment, I said, no, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get multiple jobs. I'm going to do whatever I need to do. If I have to drive, I'm going to drive. I'm going to be an Uber driver. I'm going to go get odd jobs working for different people. And that's what I did.
That's
and
great.
I kept paying the attorney as much as I could. I kept going. And eventually, the people said, you know what? Like, we're tired of you.
Really?
We're tired of you. Like,
You ended up tiring them out.
Exactly. Because I just didn't want to give up. And I'll never forget this. I'm going to share this because it's very personal. We went to Target, and my daughter saw this pink Mercedes. And I'm broke as a joke. I'm going through a lawsuit. I'm, in the worst state of mind you could possibly be. And she's just pointing in this pink car, Mercedes. And I'm like, man, I can't afford it. But I can't also show my daughter that I'm weak and I can't afford something. And I remember it was like $349. Late at night, I'm in the Uber. And I'm like, I got to make $349 just to get myself back to where I was about 2-3 hours ago. And these experiences are
And
very...
you probably did it happily.
Yeah. Happily.
With a smile on your
because
face.
the most important thing was to see my daughter happy. And you know what? She still doesn't even know that. She still doesn't even understand that what daddy had to go through. But I know that I didn't fucking quit. I know that I wasn't stopped. Failure means you gave up. And as long as you can, Les Brown says this, if you can look up, you can get up, right?
Amen.
And every time I got knocked down, I made sure I fell on my back so I could look up and I could get back up, dust it off, get to work, and make my fucking dreams come true.
Man, that's fucking amazing.
Thank you, brother.
I love your drive, and it clearly shows why you're so successful.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like, people don't know how hard it is to choose to be your own boss.
Yeah.
To choose to create your own schedule and build a company and build a culture and be in charge of people's money and their payroll. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of sleep, sleepless nights.
I think a lot of people confuse, right, being a CEO and being a leader, right?
Oh, yes.
Because if you're going to lead an organization, it does not require a position. When you do have a title, such as CEO, founder, your overall now outlook on who you are and what you're capable of doing and what you need to deliver is different because you carry that title.
Right.
With that title comes a lot of responsibility.
For sure.
Just because you're a CEO, it doesn't mean you get to choose to do whatever you want to do.
For sure.
You still have responsibility. You can get fired more than anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Your clients fire you, your carriers fire you. You get fired more than anyone in your company. And you're being watched more than anyone else in your company.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Leadership is key.
Yeah.
It's really everything, right?
Yep.
There's this coach for the Colorado State football team.
Okay.
His name is Deion Sanders.
Yep. Heard of him. Yep.
Very, very famous football
Athlete.
player.
Yep.
He took a team that went 1-11, and now he turned them, and they've gone. I think right now they're 5-3. But he already has 4 more wins than they had last year. And he's completely changed the culture of that entire organization because of his leadership, his drive, and his focus.
Did you hear about WeWork?
Yes.
Yeah, big, bankruptcy.
What a failure.
At one time.
That's a failure.
Their CEO was so such a smooth talker, the whole Netflix show. And you wonder, someone like that who's so confident, somebody who has it, in a way, the whole package. How do you drive the company down so bad? How do you, make those decisions that made the people's investments lost, people's future lost? And I have to respectfully, add to that. It's not just about confidence. It's about making decisions that don't serve me, but serves we, right? And does it affect people around me? As a leader, you're always going to get the short end of the stick.
Oh, yeah.
As a leader, you're always going to have to think about other people.
First.
First, because you have to eat last. So as a leader, I think you must put people first.
What do you think the CEO of WeWork could have done different? What do you think? Do you think COVID was really the reason why they had this big turnaround? Because everyone was, virtual and nobody wanted to be next to each other. So that might have ruined WeWork a little bit. Or do you think that there could have been other things that he could have done to get out of there?
Yeah, I think it's just a trendy business. I think some things die out, right? If you look at back in the day, everybody was going to catch Pokemons. No one's talking about Pokemons today. The environment, everything changes, right? When I was growing up, we evolve. When I was growing up, there was never a thing swipe right and you got a date, right? Now you swipe right, you got a date, and you don't know who the hell you're meeting.
Crazy.
Things evolve, things change.
Crazy.
So to me, I think it was just a wrong timing, right? Wrong decision that was portrayed to hype and not data.
Where do you see your company in 3 to 5 years?
So the vision for us right now is to go out there and really help 1,000 people make 6-figure income. We don't go out there and hire people with college degrees, with, all the knowledge and expertise in telecommunication services. We go and actually find people that work at Taco Bell and get paid $12 an hour, $15 an hour, that are underappreciated, that don't have an opportunity, that their counselors, their families, their friends said, you're never going to amount to anything. You should settle. You should be average. In my company, we have a motto, right? Don't be average, be elite. Because anyone and everyone has ability to grow, evolve, and be more. So for us, it's making a difference, making an impact, taking people from all different ages, religions, colors,
You're looking countries. For the underdog.
We're looking for those that want it, right? But they just need that. I don't know if you've seen the movie Willy Wonka, Chocolate Factory. You know what I'm talking about?
The original or
either one, right?
Yeah.
You know that golden ticket that everybody's looking for?
Yes.
We are that golden ticket.
I love that.
People look at our Instagram and like, you're scamming people. You're doing this. We just paid out $4.7 million in commission. Scamming who?
Say it again.
$4.7 million in commission paid out.
That's amazing.
Yeah. This year, we're giving out first top producer $50,000 cash bonus on top of all their commissions.
Wow.
Right? There's no company doing what we're doing in our space. And I can confidently sit down with any CEO, any manager, any founder, and I will break down our compensation plan, and they will want to switch to our company. That's how confident I am in what we do.
That's
because
great.
We know there's people that put numbers before people. They put profits before people. Our company puts people over profits.
That's beautiful. Not to get into your secret sauce, but how did you come up with this pay structure?
Going back to what we said, right? Sitting at home doesn't get you anywhere. So to me, I work for many companies. I went and I was treated like shit by other employers. I looked at sales and I said, I'm getting paid $10, $15 a sale. That's insane, the amount of work I'm putting. So I looked at all these bad experiences and I said, one day I'm going to have a company and I want that company to be the best company possible. I want people to, for me to push people out of the door to go home rather than for them, beg them to commit, right? You go to our office tonight at 11 o'clock at night, there are going to be guys dialing. Why? Because they're there for their reason, not just my reasons.
Right.
Because they know that this vehicle can retire their mom and dad. They know that vehicle could give them the freedom. So the way I put myself into what would I want if I was to work for someone else, and I'm doing those things for my people. I give them recognition. I give them love. I give them support.
You're walking the walk.
That's it. That's it. I'm not just, there's nobody that left our company that said, oh, I was treated bad. There's nobody that left our company that said, I was taken advantage of. Everybody that left our company because they no longer wanted to do sales or because they were, in a way, their dream was stolen to say, sales is not for you. Go get a stable job and do that.
Right.
But even those people still support our company because of everything they have learned inside the company.
I love that you mentioned the Willy Wonka golden ticket.
Yeah.
It's something that I mention on stage when I speak.
Oh, really?
That I feel like I was given that golden ticket.
I love it.
So I'm one of 12 male cousins.
Okay.
On my mom's side of the family.
Okay, yep.
And I'm the only one that made it out of Brazil to America.
Amazing. Wow.
So to them, I'm an inspiration.
Yes.
And I want to stay that inspiration. I want to keep that position. I want to stay on top. I want to be able to stay on top to give back to them. So I want to give back to them, give them a little opportunity of what I was given, So I share that so much.
Praise to you, man.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Let's get into your big dream. Give me your top of the line, big dream. If you had all the amount of money in the world,
Yeah.
what's Albert's legacy for the world?
My legacy for the world would be to stop all the killing. You know, my family
I love that, man.
seen so much war, so much killing, you know, so much just disruption.
How do you think we can get there? What do you think needs to happen for humanity to just come together and just cease fire and talk
Yeah.
and communicate and come to the table?
I think the problem is that we want people to do what we want them to do rather than respect them to do what they want to do, right? If somebody wants to believe in specific religion, right, it shouldn't bother you
Right.
because it doesn't take you away from believing in your religion. If somebody's black and you're white, you should not try to change them to being the way you want them to be.
Right.
Culture is so important, right? Culture is not something you can teach. It's
No.
something you have to feel. It's something that you have
That
to
you're a part
be
of.
part of,
Yes.
right? And you have to appreciate it. Like, I'm Armenian. My wife is Puerto Rican. So when
That's
I met,
amazing.
when I met her, they're dancing salsa, bachata. They're eating pernil. They're doing that.
That's awesome.
You know, they got coquito
Yeah.
there, and I'm like, I don't understand it, but I appreciate it, right? I love it.
Yeah.
It's different, right? Can you imagine eating the same thing every day?
No.
I mean, you get tired of it.
Yeah.
So the fact that we got different flavors, different cultures, different just perspective, you should accept it, respect it, right? And admire it rather than hate on it. I think that's going to make the world a better place.
Albert, I'm going to ask you to leave us with a nugget, a tip for a struggling entrepreneur
Yep.
that's lost, confused, may have a business, may not, doesn't know what to do.
Yep.
What is Albert's tip for a struggling entrepreneur that is trying to break through?
You don't have years of failure, you have years of experience. So if you're going through a hard time right now, if you're struggling, if you're looking in your bank account and you don't know where the next check, where the next pay going to come from, don't quit. Because if you don't quit and you utilize all your experiences, you take all those lessons and you start to learn from them and you start to apply them, you're going to enjoy the fruits of your hard labor. And you're going to inspire the nation. You're going to inspire a lot of people. You're going to be the American dream for many people to say, I want that. I want to be like that person who never quit. Quitters never win and winners never quit.
Man, I got fucking chills.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
That was beautiful and
Thank you.
deep.
Thank you.
Listen, I want to thank you deeply for coming to the podcast, for taking your time, coming from Connecticut
Yes.
to be a part of the show. I really, really appreciate you.
Yes.
It's been an amazing conversation. You're an amazing person, and I cannot wait to see what you do.
It's my honor. Seriously, it's a pleasure to be here. You're a fantastic person. We're looking forward to having you on our podcast as well.
Thank you, man. Phenomenal.
Appreciate
Thank you, brother.
you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. How amazing was that? If you didn't get any benefits from this episode, something's wrong with you. One more thing, actually, Albert. One more thing
Yes.
that I actually forgot. Where can the people find you? What's your IG?
Yeah.
What's your website?
Yeah. Actually.com is our website. Our IG is Young Hustler VX3. You can find us there. And
I'll make sure to put all the links down
Yeah.
below.
Albert Shakhnazarov on Facebook. That's where you can find us.
Perfect. Once again, if you didn't get any gems from this podcast, something is wrong with you. Go follow Albert. Go check him out. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you guys next time.
This is the Leo Climaco Podcast.